So have you heard of bad SEO, maybe black hat SEO? Reminds me of Spy versus Spy, right? We got the black hat and the white hat guy. Today we're going to talk about bad SEO techniques and how to make sure that you're not stabbing yourself in the eye every time you go to create a piece of content, that you're actually doing it right and you're following the rules of Google. Okay, I'm going to put my computer down and let's just talk about SEO, shall we? So SEO, search engine optimization. I actually hate that word because it's riddled with misunderstanding. It's riddled with snake oil salesmen. I actually had a guy stand up in the middle of my presentation and say, "You people are snake oil salesmen and you're full of it." And my brain says, game on. I'm like, I will turn you. And he actually became a client and I turned him. So that was awesome. So some of the things he came up to me and he's like, I'm like, why do you think SEO people are snake oil salesmen? He's like, I've just gotten all this mixed advice and every guy seems to be an expert. And you know what? You're right. Everyone has to be an expert. And as a business owner, it's hard to know who to trust. So I'm going to give you a short list of things to avoid, to never do, unless you want to get banned by Google. Probably not. Number one is the worst thing you can do is not do SEO. Don't think that I don't get business that way. I got a guy for that. Don't be thinking those things because it has to come from you. The SEO practices that I see that are the worst aren't typically the ones that get you in trouble. It's that it's not acknowledging that that is a way you'll get business. It is not acknowledging that that's how people are Googling you for jobs and to hire you. But just not doing anything at all is the worst thing you can do, number one. Number two, let's talk about techniques. White copy on a white background. Keep in mind, Google has some pretty smart people working there. They have hired the best of the best. They have been finessing that algorithm ever since the day that it was born. They know every possible trick in the book. And so when you think, ooh, I could just do white text on a white background, stuff it with a bunch of keywords, or in an image, there's something called an alt text. And the alt text is where you can stuff a bunch of keywords in there. No, just anything that feels deceptive is deceptive. Google knows about them all. So let's just kind of put that on the table. The next one, number three, is don't buy links. You want links to be coming from organic engagement with your company. You're doing a kick-ass job of doing what you do best. And if you go and buy false endorsements, you found a guy on Fiverr that can give you 10,000 links overnight, guaranteed. That's deceptive practice. So links, yes, they're important. You've got to think about how can I get organic links, maybe from a Chamber of Commerce, maybe from a conference that I'm speaking at, maybe from a Google local listing. You've got to think about building what they call a backlink profile. So people who are linking from their site to yours, okay? There are 3 levels of linking. There is gold, silver, bronze. So the first one is going to be the gold standard of linking is going to be from something like harvard.edu. It's going to be from a college, a university, a news outlet, something that is very trustworthy for Google. Now, those are always the hardest ones to get, but if you can get them, that's why oftentimes I will volunteer at colleges, junior colleges, local vocational schools. I want to give back, of course, but in most cases, I'll get a really highly valuable link back to my site. So just volunteer at your local college, give back, and it pays off for you. All right, let's talk about the silver standard of linking is where you are linking out to other people, which is great. Google expects that you will link to other resources, but that's good, but it's not a gold standard. But Google still expects that you're going to link inside your own site as well as you're going to link out to other people. Because you're a professor, remember, we're professors in our space. Professors know professors. When we highlight something and make it clickable, that turns it into a citation. So if you go and think about when you wrote your last term paper, there are specific elements on there and you had to have a bibliography. You guys remember that? Ugh. Now you can go like bibliography.com and just enter in the thing and it does the whole thing for you. When I was an English major at Colorado State University, go Rams, I was having to write these massive bibliographies and they had to be just perfect. They had to be bolded and underlined and thank God I don't have to do that anymore. But Google's saying, look, if you're an expert in your space, then of course you're going to validate the content you're talking about. So those are great links, and we want links. And then of course the bronze standard is you link to me, I link to you. You link to me, I'll link to you. So you're all kind of colluding together to create a web ring, right? Where you're all sort of like in the party and you're gonna link to me and I'm gonna link to you, and don't do that. It's considered deceptive practice, and you just wanna make sure you get organic, gold, and silver level links, okay? So no buying links, promise me. Okay, another strategy is going to be where you are keyword stuffing. So think about a page on a website. There is an organic usage of a keyword on a page, for sure. If you're talking about a topic, then of course you are going to be you're going to have that keyword in there. I mean, that's part of the copy. The problem is people think, oh, well, if it's 300 words, or is it 10,000 words? Is it hundreds of references of that keyword on the page? Part of what Findability University does is we teach business owners and their marketing teams tools that will tell them exactly how much content to write. We've got some amazing tools that will say, for this keyword, this is how much you're going to write. This is who the people you will link to. So when you have that cheat sheet, you don't have to guess anymore. Is it 300 words? Is it 10,000 words? Do I paint the page with keywords? Do I just sprinkle them throughout? So best practice is think of like chocolate chip cookies. Right? You're not going to take the whole thing, and well, some of you might, but you're going to take the whole thing and just load it with all chocolate chip cookies and very little dough. You want it evenly sprinkled throughout. So a little bit at the top, a little bit through the middle, a little bit at the bottom. So think about hugging the content. Ooh, I love you so much, you're about this keyword. So you want the keyword at the top, at the very first sentence, keyword in the very last sentence, and then sprinkled throughout like those chocolate chips. You don't want to go nutty. Remember, you're a professor. You're writing a term paper on that one keyword phrase. We like to call it the boss. Okay, the keyword is the boss of that page. You don't want to go in and make it look less like that. So whether it's like the Devil Wears Prada gal, or it's the boss like the Bruce Springsteen, or the baby boss, or whoever boss that you want to identify with, the keyword is the boss of the page, but you don't want to overdo it. It's about relevance, and it's about sprinkling it throughout. So let's take a look back. Biggest deceptive SEO practices. 1, reverse text on the same background. Don't do that. Number 2, never buy links. I don't care how wonderful the offer sounds. Don't buy them. Google knows about every possible scam, workaround, hack, black hat thing you can do. Just don't even think about it. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. We all know that. And then finally, of course, make sure that you are thinking about, how do I write content that really speaks to my profession? We are not going to stuff, remember keyword stuffing? We are not going to stuff keywords in images, in content, in title tags. You know, if you keep watching my material, we're going to get into deep concepts around how to write optimized pages, how to find the right keyword content. We're going to go deep diving into those content, but just kind of a high level, don't do those 3 practices. They will get you banned from Google. And I can tell you, after working with clients that have gotten banned, getting back on there is a Herculean effort, and you don't want to go there. So hey, if you love the content on my video today, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the little bell next to it, and make sure you get notified every time I have a new video. We publish a video every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will geek out on the next video.